This is the plaintiff, Raymond Defendant. He says he bought a truck from the defendant, and when he went to start it up and drive it off her property, it wouldn't start. He pushed it out of the backyard, got a mechanic to look at it, and he said the thing needs a new engine, and there's no way the owner didn't know that before she sold it. The defendant refuses to return his money, so he's suing her here today for the $1,000 he's owed. This is the defendant, Deborah Rebecca Dixon. She says she had an old truck in her backyard, and the plaintiff asked if she was selling it. She said sure, and she told him then and there that sometimes it cuts off when she was driving it. He said he could fix it, bought it, and now wants to return it? Ha! She's accused of sticking a guy with a bad truck.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff bought a truck from the defendant, and it was in such bad shape that he had to push it off her property. But the defendant says it was an old truck, and he took his chances. It's the case of Truck U.
Thank you, Douglas. Raymond Avant.
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing Deborah Rebecca Dixon for $850 that you paid for a truck, plus you want the money you paid the mechanic to look at the truck back. So a total of $1,000, because according to you, she violated the Lemon Law. Okay, tell me what happened.
Okay, I met this lady here back in out doing volunteer work. So I delivered a refrigerator to her house. This is how I met
A
her.
refrigerator to her house?
She had a nice truck in the yard. I can show you pictures of it.
She had what?
A nice truck.
A nice truck in the yard. Can I see the pictures? Do you have the
I love
pictures?
these trucks too. They're good trucks.
Uh-huh. What year was the truck?
2001.
2001. And it was what? Ford Expedition?
Ford Expedition.
Yeah.
I used to have one of those. Okay, go on.
So it didn't done after I asked her what was wrong with it. She said it kept cutting off, and she got tired of putting gas in it.
That it
they
kept
run out of
cutting off.
gas.
When you asked her what was wrong with it, she said it kept cutting off, and she was tired of putting gas in it.
Right.
Oh, there's that pesky little detail
What
in
happened?
cars where you have to keep putting gas in it.
Right. But see, I said, well, if it's just cutting off, it's got to be something simple like the gas or.
Why would it be something simple? It could be something horrible.
No, but you know.
And why are you going to trust her? What, does she look like a car mechanic to you?
No, but she said it was just cutting off. That's why I went by. But she should have told me the motor was locked up in it.
How's she going to know that?
She knows.
She knows.
Anytime you drive a vehicle and sell it, you know what's
Well,
wrong.
was she driving that vehicle?
Well, she drove to a house and parked in the yard.
When was the last time she had driven the vehicle?
When that time
I told him
No,
4
wait,
years ago.
I'm sorry.
4 years ago.
Four
Yeah,
years
so
ago.
you knew that the vehicle had not been
But she
driven
didn't
for
tell
4
me
years.
4 years ago.
What?
Don't want to explain to me.
What did she say to you was the last time she had driven it?
The last time she said she driven it, she didn't never tell me. She really didn't.
Okay, now let me hear your version of this, which is exceedingly different.
Approximately right after Christmas of 2017, my refrigerator started malfunctioning. And so me and my sister, we lived together. We needed a new one. Mr. Deliverance, Raymond.
Okay, he was the driver of the delivery truck that brought you the refrigerator.
Him and his coworker.
Okay.
And he saw the vehicle in the yard, and he asked me, was it for sale? And it's been sitting there for 4 years. I said, sure, yes. And he asked me how much, and I had read the Blue Book and everything before, and it was like $700 to $1,000. Since I didn't know what was wrong with it, I said the highest price. And Mr. Raymond, he came over 2 or 3 times a month. He called many times a month after the fact.
Why?
Explaining to me why he didn't have the money, he would have the money, he was in accidents.
He didn't want you to sell it to someone else.
No.
Right.
But he never had the money. He never actually
Well,
had
how much
the money.
later did he come up with the money?
October.
Okay, so we're talking about 10 months of him calling you saying, is it still there? Is it still there?
Right.
And then what happens? You negotiate
And
a price.
coming and visiting and just come look at the vehicle. My brother would tell me he's out there again.
Did he ever ask for the keys to try to start it up?
I told him I did not want him to work on the vehicle in the yard.
That's not working on the vehicle.
You never asked for the keys
Yes,
to
I asked
start
for
it up.
Okay.
I gave him the keys to open the vehicle to look
Okay,
at.
why didn't you just try to start it?
Okay, the reason why I won't start because the battery was dead.
Oh, so you did try to start it up.
Yes, ma'am.
But
The
it
key
wouldn't
right here.
start, so you figured, oh, no problem, I'll buy the car anyway.
Yeah.
Because what happens is, rather than having a mechanic look at it before you pay for the car, you decide, I want the car. And you negotiate a price of $850, and you hand her $850, and she hands you a bill of sale that says, I, Deborah Dixon, grant sale of the Ford Expedition 2001. It has a VIN number, and it says, as is. What did you think this meant?
As is. But I ain't thinking
Does it
about
mean that you get to come to court and sue her and say, you didn't tell me this thing was a piece of garbage. I thought I was going to have a good set of wheels for $850. It's been sitting there for all these years, at least for a year that I know of, because I keep coming and it's still in the backyard. And I've been in it. I know the thing doesn't even turn over. But, you know, all right, what ends up happening? You end up pushing it out to the front, and then after you buy it, you hire a mechanic to come and take a look at it and install the new battery. And what does the mechanic tell you?
Can't raise the hood in her yard. She can't raise a whole lot of hell. I told her don't raise the hood in my yard.
Right, she doesn't want people working on it in front of her house.
So the mechanic got upset, so he said, push it down the street. They pushed in the streets. They clicked it. It clicked because it had a new battery. She put a new battery in it. It clicked. The other mechanics said, well, it ain't the starter. It ain't the battery. They took the front pulley off and clicked it again. He said, the engine lock, this no more than no good. She knew what it was before she sold it to you.
Yes, it was an $850 car. You're basically buying the body work. You're buying the outside of a car.
I was really buying the vehicle thinking that it was just cutting off at stoplights. They could be fixed simpler.
Why don't you find that out before you buy it, as is?
I try to trust. That's my stupid.
No, it's not a matter of trusting. It's a matter of who ends up eating the problem. When you don't check out a used car thoroughly before you buy it, you can't come crying later, oh, she must have known. Especially in circumstances like this where it's sitting in a yard.
My understanding is, it was just cutting off at a stoplight and crank back up.
Your understanding, what you don't know could fill a library. You don't know what's under the hood, and that's why you have a mechanic look at it before you buy it. And it's like you bought a car, you knew it wasn't running, you don't know what's wrong with it, it hasn't been moved for a year. You were hoping that this lady would get rid of a car that you really wanted because it's pretty, and you'd win the lottery and get it working for cheap, and then you didn't win the lottery, and now you want your money back for the ticket?
So she was up front and said, hey, it keeps cutting off, and he assumed it was a minor thing. It was a major thing. He had luck.
Yes, he is. 17-year-old car. He should have had it checked out by a mechanic. And,
among other things, what's the other problem with this, aside from that it goes cutting off?
He didn't ask. He didn't ask questions. He should have, and it said buyer beware on the contract, as is.
Well, as is. What does as is mean?
He doesn't have to sign before read it.
Well, he signed, and he's stuck going inside the courtroom.
You are correct. You do not have to return the money. It's an as-is sale. It's buyer beware, and you should have had a mechanic take a look at it beforehand. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
But back in my hometown, Wake County, we got lemon laws there.
Good luck for you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We got lemon laws.
Mr. Event, it's a little too late for you to go anywhere else to court. You've signed the agreement. It's over. You lost. Have you ever watched the People's Court?
I watch People's Court.
You know, we have cases like this all the time.
But listen, we don't have no case like no lemon laws.
Yeah, we do here. I mean, the judge tells people get a mechanic look at your car all the time.
I know, but see, my hometown's not like that.
Yeah, it is.
No, we got lemon laws there.
I know. They got them here, too.
See, if I noticed, I would have took my lawyer with me. But see.
All right.
But she cannot get away with that kind of stuff. That's like robbing me. She know the car wants no good, but she sold it to me. And then, I trusted her to
you should have had the mechanic look at it. So the judge told you what to do, and unfortunately, you're out of luck, okay? I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for you. You're on your way out, and I'm sorry. Ms. Dixon? Did you tell him it hadn't been driven in 4 years? I didn't know if you told him that or not.
Yes, he knew.
He knew that?
He knew.
Okay. Well, you knew at least 1 year. Okay.
Right.
Well, the harassment's over now, right?
Yes.
Not going to call you anymore, hopefully.
Yes, hopefully.
Okay.
Lemon laws, lemon human.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, boy. People need to know they got to get a mechanic first, right, Harvey?
Yeah, I mean, of course, Doug, absolutely. Now, look, you may have an as-is sale. That doesn't mean you can't negotiate a warranty. You can still ask somebody for a 17-year-old car. I want a 30-day warranty on certain parts, and it's enforceable. You have to ask for it. You have to be ready to walk.